My first comic that I would like to introduce. She's a great friend of mine and a wonderful person and someone I love very much. We used to call each other Bizarro twins. Yes. You're just the prettier and smarter me. She graduated college, you guys. Everybody give it up for Angela Garrone.
07, class of. What up? I'm Angela. What up, Murphys? It's funny you mentioned church. I was raised Catholic, Italian. She wasn't lying. Garrone is my last name. Garrone like bologna. I'm half Italian. We have a new pope from America. Cool stuff for the Catholics. We've had a bad story for most of our recent past, unless you were paying attention. So we got an American Pope. That's exciting. So I thought in the vein of that, I would do what Catholics do best. And this show is about my confessions. Yes, here are my confessions. I realized, Katrina said something about marrying a cop. I realized I've slept with a cop. Yeah, that memory came back. But I'm going to defend it, okay? It was 2008. I was living in New York, and we were out, and there were these hot guys, and it turned out they were cops. And I was like, oh, NYPD. That's bucket list shit. Am I right, ladies? Nobody? Didn't we grow up on NYPD Blue? Anybody? Wasn't that like a thing? Jimmy Smith's ass and all that? Am I dating myself? Dennis Farina's ass too, I think, yeah. Ow! So I was like, all right, I might as well add NYPD to the men are shocked that we are like them. So I was like, I'm gonna chalk me up one of these NYPD cops. So we leave, we go back to my apartment, the deed is done. He wants to go back out. Yeah, I was like, I've checked it off. Mission accomplished for the evening. Why am I going back out? He's like, no, man, we'll go back out. Like, we'll drink some more. We'll come back and do it again. I was like, well, that sounds kind of hot. We'll do that then. So he convinced me to go back out, okay? We're talking about seconds. And my friends are still out. I'm out. They go, what are you doing back here? I go, please don't ask. Let's just drink. We start talking, we start drinking, and suddenly I look around and he's not there anymore. What? And I try. This was 2008, as I'm saying, so it's like just text was just kind of. I think I had a BlackBerry. I was like, "Where you at?" And yeah, that was it. That was the last I heard from him. What was that? That's when I knew all cops are bad. Some bullshit. Why did you bring me back out? What am I doing back out now, alone and ditched? I mean, like, what is this? What game was he playing? I bet you I could. Oh, God. I thought it was No Man Left Behind. I got left behind. It was sad. He didn't live up to his... Okay, I have another confession. I have too many cats. Y'all knew that. Clap it up, keep it clapping. How many is too many? Oh, 7 is too many. You've had 7. You have had. Was 7 your max? See, when you reach your max, okay, so you say you have 4 now. I have 4 now. And I feel like 4 is just on the precipice of crazy. Don't you feel 5? I used to think it was 3, and then I realized 4 is comfortable. You know, that's okay. They can all, 2 boys, 2 girls, that's how I've done it. You know, I've thought about it. There's some math been involved. But 5 feels like, oh. No, it's true though, when you start, because you don't start with 5 usually, I don't know. You start with 1 at a time, and the more you add them, the more worried people get. Right? Like when you just keep getting them. And, because like if it was 4 dogs, that's like rescue, right? Like I'm on the dodo, right? People are sharing my videos about my 4, like we're climbing mountains, me and my 4 rescue dogs. When you have 4 cats, they're like, does she clean her house? How often is her trash taken out? Yeah, right, yeah. How many candles does she have to light to mask the smell? That's what they're asking. They definitely don't eat anything I bring to the party. She has 4 cats. You don't know where they're walking. It's true, you don't know where they're walking. Little bastards. I remember when I got my first one, I was real proud. Because, like, your cat, I got a boy, I called him my boyfriend. It was real, 20-year-old shit. And I used to tell people he was my boyfriend, I didn't need a man. And they would say, like, oh man, Angela, there's somebody out there better than your cat. I found to be like, don't fucking talk about Otis like that. All right? We're gonna fight. But seriously, I don't know a guy that, like, lets you cut his balls off. Right? Thank you. And then you just lock him inside all day. No access to anything else. And when you come home, he wants to cuddle. Yeah. Find me that man. I haven't found him. It was fine. I haven't found a man that, like, when he gets diagnosed with something that nobody can deal with or afford to fix, you can just kill him. Legally. With, like, someone holding your hand through the process. You get a card in the mail from all the vet techs. I'm so sorry that you lost Otis. / killed him. Actually. They don't let you do that with the men, I've heard. I haven't tried it. We're not going that deep into confessions. Y'all ain't priests, okay? I know my rights. Y'all can tell on me. The fucking priest can't, apparently. That leads to my next confession. Look at me. My next confession is I used to be a lawyer. That's true. That's a true story. I used to be a lawyer. I realized I was not... it wasn't for me. I couldn't do it. One of the reasons is because, like, I tried to do just, like, any kind of law you could do. So I did criminal law, like, where you just kind of hang around 211 Poplar and see who needs help. And it's usually, like, somebody that comes up and is like, hey, can you help me out? Maybe. I have a charge as marijuana possession with the intent to sell. Do you think you could represent me? I'm like, I don't know. Depends. Do you currently possess any marijuana? Because I don't. Perhaps we could go to the old barter system. My problem came when this man took me up on that. And he showed up to my law office with just a bag of weed that he threw on my desk where the diplomas could see it. And I was like, sir, you can't do that. I'm a lawyer. Like, this is... you can't just throw this bag of weed on my desk, especially with all the seeds and stems. You're going to jail with this. All right? You're going to have a higher quality if you want to get off, sir. That's all I'm saying. This is rough. I did family law, too. Oof. It's not good. Family law, anybody had to be in the family law system? Katrina sounds like she has. You've been down to those courts several times, it sounds like. It's always a party. I would have to go down to juvenile court way too early. And you'd be walking through the metal detector, and before you even could make it through, people were already upset. And I remember one day it was like, somebody was already yelling, and the cops were saying, get out of here. And they're like, that's okay, we're going to take it to the streets. We're going to take it to the streets, I got you. And I was like, ooh, what street? Because I parked near here. And I'm not awake enough for whatever you're taking to the streets. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't ready to take it. They are at juvenile court. My next confession is I'm a teacher currently. Shout out to the first responders. Who has children? Who have children that have benefited from the public school system? Who themselves have benefited from the public school system? What up, public school? Shoo-wee. We out here in these streets. Being a teacher on the other side is a whole new thing. I'm a middle school teacher. Y'all remember middle school? Phew, it sucks. Still sucks. You have to have a really strong self-esteem to be a middle school teacher. They will just tell you what you look like before you have even processed the day. I remember I was at the cafeteria having to do lunch duty, and I was trying to walk to a table, and before I could get there, I overheard someone say, "Here comes Miss Garrone in that little shirt." I was like, oh. And before I could address that we don't talk about people and what they look like, someone goes, that ain't no little shirt, that's like a 2X. And it was a 2X. So I couldn't say shit. I just kind of went on. I was like, they handled it. Because I feel like really she was trying to help me out with that. You know, that's not a little shirt. Miss Garrone wears a 2X. Thank you, girl. 3X when I wanted to hang a little. So sweet. Yeah, it's funny. In middle school, they all cuss. I mean, obviously they cuss. And I want to cuss too. I feel like we should all be cussing or we shouldn't be cussing. So that's how I tell them that. I was like, Caden, you can't tell him to sit his little bitch ass down because I can't tell you to sit your little bitch ass down. That's how it works, okay? So it's called fair, okay? You always say life's not fair. Here's where it is fair. You don't cuss, I don't cuss. But I'm really sick of hearing people cussing and I can't say shit. And be like, if you don't fucking shut up. How good would, I mean, that's what they say to each other. And they always want to protect you from what's happening. So they all started doing the Hawk Tua thing, back when that was a thing, right? And I was like, when they said it, I heard the first time, I went, what? But they thought I really was asking that question. And they were like, Miss Garrone, no, don't look it up, don't look it up. I'm like, I've seen hardcore porn. All right? What are you telling me? Don't look up Hawk Tua. You are weird and 11. Get out of here. This is weird. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, all right? I'm so sick of this shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about Hawk Tua. Or they love, it is so fucked up, but all of a sudden you'll just hear in your class, just teaching math. And then you'll have the kids that are like, what was that? Like, they really don't know what that is. And so you're trying to, like, save the safe ones still. Like, don't pay attention. And the other ones, you're like, I fucking know what you're doing. Fucking stop that shit. I know you're making sex noises. We know it's sex. These other kids, I overheard these boys walking through the hallway telling a girl walking by, and they go, she smelled like seafood. It's like, get the fuck. I was like, you don't think I know what you're talking about? They're like, oh, it's a joke, Miss Garrone, you know, seafood. Ha ha. I was like, I want to hit you so bad right now. I know what the hell you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. It's terrible. I feel like you made a joke earlier, Katrina. It was something about, this is so true, the kids who could just come in smelling like weed. You know, they're out there. And I'm just like straight trying to huff them when they come in. Good morning. This is going to take me at least until 9:15. You just got me a little bit of a buzz. I feel pretty good about this now. I'm loving this ladies. Thank you, Murphys, for having us in the ladies comedy night. I did an all ladies show last night. Yes, thank you, Murphys. I did an all ladies show last night as well in Marion, Arkansas, which did y'all know is only 15 minutes from here? What the fuck? It's closer than Collierville. And suddenly I was just in the fields, literally the fields. The fields is where I was. This was what it was called. It was weird. They loved it and they had a great time, and they were wanting to talk about what it was like to live in Memphis, right? And they were talking about, you should live out in Marion, it's real safe out here, la la la. And I said, well, y'all are rich. They're like rich rice farmers or some shit. And I said, I go, no, don't worry. You're smart to live. If you're rich, yeah, don't live in the city. Okay? If you're rich and you live in the city around all the poverty, well, you're just asking for it. That's your fault. That's just some rude shit. Don't live in big houses right near my little tiny house, okay? I see what you have and I want it. It's poverty. All right? I live just near everyone that's also poor, because I am too. And everybody knows I don't have shit. They're not robbing me. If you're poor, live here. If you're rich, live in Marion. That's all I was saying. I was like, I'm fine. They're like, oh, what's the crime like? It's good. I'm good. I live on Jackson. They don't rob my shit. I have nothing. I lost a plant once. Literally, they stole a plant off my floor. I did. I lost a plant and a planter. I don't know. Maybe somebody needed it more than me. I'm fine. I'm good. They don't want my shit at all. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with this. Does anybody here, we're old. I feel like I see some oldies out there. Does anybody else still, every time something doesn't work, you just go, anybody else? Like it's like we're all just a Nintendo game or a VHS, right? Like that just works like all the time. Like somewhere there's an ER doctor, and like the blood pressure's just dropping and they've tried everything and he's like, everybody get away! Sometimes that works. Yeah. I tried it once too. I remember this one time I went out. It wasn't the cop, but it was sometime around the cop. New York was a wild time. I'll talk. Ask me about it later. But this guy, and he just couldn't. I guess he had too much to drink, and he just couldn't. He just couldn't figure it out. How to keep it sailing. And he just kept apologizing. I'm sorry, this never happens. And I said, it's okay, right there. All right, I've been Angela. That's what I am on Instagram. Follow me. I've been Angela. Y'all been awesome. This will be Katrina.